In this on-page SEO in-depth tutorial, I will show you how to use Yoast plugin for WordPress to optimize and raise your blog post score for on-page SEO. This will give your blog articles a higher chance to rank on search engine result pages. Are you a beginner blogger or you just want to up your SEO skill? I will show you how to use Yoast plugin to optimize your blog post article on-page SEO score, specifically for readability and SEO rating. I will assume that you already did your keyword research right and your blog post is well set up and written, since I won't be discussing that aspect in this video. But if you want me to publish a video about how I do my keyword research and how I write, then you can let me know in the comment section. I have a few blog posts where I discuss keyword research more in depth. I will add the link to the post in the description below this video. Alright, enough of the talk. Let's dive right into our Yoast plugin now. The first thing is to be sure you have Yoast plugin installed on your WordPress website. If you haven't, then go to plugin, add new, search for Yoast, install, and then activate. Now Yoast plugin is active on your website. Come down to the left menu for Yoast and click so we do few basic setup. Go to features and be sure that the first 4 options are on. Usually, you want to leave everything at the default setting, and since we'll not be doing other things like setting up Google Search Console, let's leave every other thing just the way they are. To write our blog post, go to Post, click Add New. I have already pasted an article from one of my Quora answers just for this tutorial. So I want to assume that you now have your own blog post already written and ready for optimization. Scroll to the base of your article where you will see Yoast SEO. As you can see here, we have 4 different attributes that we must optimize our blog post for: SEO, readability, schema, and social. Though we will be focusing our attention much more on the SEO and readability attributes, I always love to begin my optimization from the readability attributes. What does readability optimization do for your blog post? It helps to check your content, making sure it is easy to read by your blog visitors. Also, search engines love well-structured and well-written content, so it's more like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Ideally, your readability attribute must change from red or amber to green before you are satisfied with your readability score, same as your SEO score. You can see that my readability analysis here is amber in color. The color ideally means poor for red, fair for amber, and excellent for green. If you are not very good with writing yet, most times your readability will be red by default once you finish writing your blog post. For me, by default, my readability shows green even without any adjustment. This is because I already know how to structure my blog post instinctively, but you too can as you get more writing experience. In fact, this particular article is amber because I did not intend to write it to publish. It was just one of my Quora answers. So let's try and make our amber color change to green here. Click on readability. There are 7 points in readability analysis that you must optimize, but as you can see, quite a number of them are already optimized naturally on my article. This is because the article has been well structured from the way I wrote them. Yours might not be like this. But because I want this tutorial to be very practical, I will add up some dummy tests to this post just to shake things up a little bit more so that I can offer a better explanation. Good or bad, as you can see. Now you see that my readability score is very red, showing that I now have a poorly structured blog post that needs to be optimized. So let's optimize this until we have a green colored score. If we don't have a green color, we are not going to leave. So let's begin with consecutive sentences. Sometimes we repeat same sentences consecutively in our blog post. This makes your blog post monotonous and boring. This is an example of consecutive sentences that I'm talking about. But since we don't have too many of them in this article, then it is accepted. And yours does not need to tell us to fix them because they are not too many. If your score is amber or red, it means you have too many of such, and so you must reduce it. You can simply rephrase your sentences either manually or use a tool like Quillbot to rephrase them. Also, this eye icon will help you to identify where the problem is so that you can correct them from there. Passive voice. Passive voice is bad for your writing. Let me not go into too much grammar in explaining this concept, but look at it this way. If you say, "Mom hugged me," this is an active voice. But if you say, "I was hugged by mom," then this is passive. I hope you got that analysis. For me, the best way to make sure I avoid passive voice in my writing is to use a lot of I and you in my writing. The more I and you that you use, the more your blog posts feel like a chat between you and your reader, and it naturally makes you write using active voice the more. If your passive voice score is amber or red, then click the eye icon to identify them and change them to their active voice counterparts. Paragraph length. When your paragraphs are too long, it will reduce your readability score. To make mine become green, I will click the eye icon to identify those paragraphs that are too long, and then I can fix them. Okay, it is fixed now. Sentence length. Each of your sentences must not exceed 20 words. I have some work to do here, as you can see, to make my sentence turn green. So I will click the eye icon to identify which of these sentences are longer than 20 words, and they will be highlighted. Then I will edit some of these text to reduce the sentence length to 20 words or less until I have enough number to turn my paragraph length to green. Okay, that is done. Subheading distribution. Your blog post must be structured into headings and subheadings. Each of your subheadings must not be more than 300 words. If you do have amber or red, then you must fix those subheadings to make them 300 words or less. Transition words. If your transition word here is red, it shows that you are not using enough transition word on your blog article. Transition words include words like and, but, so, and because. These words let your article flow better with your readers. The red or amber color only show that you are not using enough of such words. So, the solution is to edit your article and use those words the more until your color changes to amber and subsequently to green, because that is what we want to achieve. Reading ease. This has a lot to do with every other factor of your blog post structure. The better you optimize your blog post, the higher your reading ease will rise. Other factors that affect this score include your grammars and vocabularies. Generally, you want to write using simple words that your readers will quickly understand. So, as you can see, readability score will only be a problem for you maybe after writing your first few articles. As you get used to writing, you will build these skills instinctively, and soon enough, even without checking, your articles will comply with this readability analysis, and you will only have just a few tweaks to make. But it comes with a lot of practice, so you must write and be conscious of these things. So now, our general readability score has changed to green, and so we are good to go. Well done. Now let's fix our SEO score. Click the SEO tab. The very first thing you want to do here is to fix in your article focus key phrase into the focus key phrase bar. I am hoping that everyone understands what focused key phrase means here. At this point, I will want to delete the dummy text I pasted earlier on because it will definitely not allow me any success in optimizing my SEO score here. So I'm going to delete that. Alright, in the Quora answer I am using for this post, I answered an SEO question. So naturally I will use SEO as my focused key phrase. So we scroll down. The next attribute to fix is our sludge. A sludge is the domain URL you want your article to be addressed by. The only rule here is that you should keep your sludge fairly short and must contain your focus key phrase. But before we fix this, I want us to quickly fix our blog post main title, which has a lot to do with our blog article success. While I will not dwell on the importance of blog title and how to generate an excellent one in this video, but I will say that you must look at the top right of your page. Here, you can see the SEO score of your blog title. Ideally, you want to make sure that it rises to at least 70. But if you want me to release a video on how I generate blog post title and how important this blog post title are to your blog post success, then you can just comment in the comment section below, and then in one of my videos I can dedicate a time to discuss that. I will go ahead and fixing an excellent blog title for this article. So I'm going to use how to optimize your blog post like a pro. As you can see, my score has risen to 72 from the default 32 that it was before. So let's scroll back to the SEO attribute. This is how your blog post will appear on Google search results. Fixing your slug now. In this case, I'm going to use how to optimize SEO of your blog post. This is not too short, neither is it too long, and it contains our focus key phrase, which is SEO. Meta description. Here you want to write a few lines of introduction so that your search result on Google can lure people to click your blog article. Too long results will impact your score negatively, and also if it is too short. So make sure you use the green bar that Yoast plugin provides to guide your length of meta description. Also, you must make sure that your focus key phrase is included in this description. This is how your blog article will appear on Google search results. Let's head over to other SEO attributes that we need to fix. These indicators are not always the same for all blog articles, so make sure you read what the red complaints are and then fix them for your own article, because what you're going to see many of the time will depend on the kind of mistakes you're making on your blog post. Usually they will not be too difficult to understand, but then you can also reach out to me if you have any problem with this, and I will be willing to help you. But I will explain the ones that are more constant and common among all blog articles. So let's get to them. Outbound link. An outbound link is a link from your blog post that leads to an external website, not your own. An example is, if I had a Google link to this blog post, then that Google link is an outbound link. Therefore, you want to add a few relevant external links to your blog post if need be. Let me add one leading to ubersuggest.com, which is relevant to this blog article here. Alright, that is fixed. It is always a good practice to add images and infographics to aid the visual feel of your blog post. So I will add some images here. Okay, that is fixed. Key phrase in introduction. You want your blog readers to quickly know what they will see when they read your blog. So you should introduce your keyword in the very first paragraph of all your blog articles. Internal links. In contrast to outbound links, internal links are links to pages of your own website. A good SEO practice is to make sure that you link pages within your blog post, even if it's just one. So I will interlink another page within this blog to this very post to fix this. As you can see, both our readability and SEO are excellently optimized for on-page SEO. If other aspects of your website are right, then doing this to each of your blog posts will give your blog a big chance to rank higher than those of your competitors every time on search results. If you have any issue with your blog and need assistance, you can always contact me at. I will also add this email to the description below this video. This is a fairly new channel. Can you support me with a like? If you need WordPress and blogging tips like this, then subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification option to get notified whenever I publish a new post. See you in the next tutorial.